Recording in progress. Did you hear that?
I fucking did, mate. That was inside my skull. The loudest thing I've ever heard, mate.
Recording in progress. Do you know what bit I actually genuinely hate is the start bit, like the introduction bit, because it seems
a bit forced, kind of thing.
Forced, and I feel uncomfortable doing them. Do you know?
You want to get back to where we were 30 seconds ago?
I want to go back to where we were 30 seconds ago. I'm just going to fucking roll with it, mate. What were we even talking about before we even went live? Lou roll?
We're talking about working from home, and you were delivering food, and you were telling me how you started a business of robbing loo roll so you can sell it on corners. You're saying...
Mate, see when it first happened, seeing this whole pandemic happen, like March, when was it? What year was it again? 2019?
That's when it was in China, wasn't it? And then 2020, we all thought, fuck, it's coming.
It's coming. And then see the toilet roll we had to ship. I was like, this is a fucking joke. Surely, like, why is people panicking buying toilet roll?
It's such a stupid thing. And the panic buying with the food, man, because the thing is, like, the shops are used to supply and demand. Like, if you just keep buying your food that you need to survive, they'll keep stocking the food. If you go and buy fucking food for 3 weeks, of course they're going to run out of food. And some mug around the corner is going to be... I
don't know if you have like a different view or a different like fucking take on the whole thing, but maybe I'm just a bit fucking daft. Well, I'm not. I actually am daft, but see, why were people bulk buying?
I think people thought everyone else was going to bulk buy. So they thought, well, I want food. I don't want to be the person who can't get food. And then that's a stupid thing, is that everyone thinks someone else is going to do it. So everyone does it, or a lot of people do it. And then you get half the population that can't eat properly, and the other half who are there having fucking buffets every night.
But there's only so much pasta you can eat.
I don't know, mate. Eat big to get big. Isn't that what they say?
Yeah, the old bro science is the only way forward, man. I'm telling you, it's fucking eat big to get big. Every Monday is chest day, whether you like it or not. So it is. And Friday is leg day, but if you don't feel like training legs on a Friday, just train arms.
That's it. Work out a way to train biceps on the leg press, mate. Pulling it.
Work out a way that by the time it gets to Friday, you can just say, you know what? I'll train legs the following week. That's the proper pro fit.
Then you look like a shitty Dorito with your legs like this.
But I just couldn't get my head around like why people were fucking bulk buying pasta and fucking. I was like, stop.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Like walking down the shop, like the aisles, and seeing nothing there, and it's like, well, fuck, am I having for tea? I guess I'm having quinoa, whatever the fuck that is. I'm having that for tea. Everyone's bought all the rice.
Fucking quinoa. I'm having quinoa for my dinner. Haven't got a fucking clue what it is, but fuck it, I'm gonna have it anyway. Fuck me, man. What I will say is what this pandemic has done. I always have quite a bad fucking... I'm very negative towards social media because I just don't like... I just hate fakeness.
No, you're speaking my language here, mate. I agree.
What I have enjoyed seeing is like new like trends, like new accounts, like accounts that I didn't even know that I needed in my life. Do you know what I mean? Like, I follow this fella. I can't... What the fuck? It's on TikTok. And people just sending messages like, I'm bastardizing this. I'm a single dad who works fucking 14 million hours a day. How can I make a lunch? And he goes, yeah, sure, let's make lunch. And then he makes like he makes like a lunch for a single dad who works 14 million hours a day and needs it on the go. I'll have to send you on. I don't know if you've come across him, but
I haven't come across him. No, it sounds great.
It's because I got quite a lot of ideas from lunch because
like meal preps and things like that.
Meal preps, yeah. Because I used to see for like the past fucking 7 years, I have religiously had sandwiches every day.
When I go to... Do you not get the memo, mate? Bread makes you fat. That's what I heard, mate. Can't be eating bread, mate. Instantly wake up the next day, 20 stone, mate.
But I got to the point where I was so fucked off with sandwiches, like proper, like I can't put any more bread into my mouth. I am going to lose my fucking shit. And I've actually started making myself proper meals to come to work with.
Yeah.
And it's,
you know what, mate, though, that kind of ties into the whole Instagram thing, though, or like your account, my account, that kind of thing, because the whole point of the account, or at least mine, was to show people that you don't have to eat the same thing. You don't have to eat routine. You can just actually have a bit of diversity in your diet, eat the things you want and make it work for whether you're gaining weight, whether you're losing weight, whatever you want to do. And I think that's true. Like, I remember going into work. It was when I first sort of started getting properly into fitness and that. And I'd be sat there and I'd have cooked like a curry and rice and all that. And I'd have it in my Tupperware. Everyone fucking hated me because I'd be there microwaving it. It'd smell like a jalfrezi in the fucking office. But I was there tucking in. And I'd have someone walk past me and they'd say, Jesus Christ, how are you like in decent shape and eating a full hot meal for lunch? And I'm like, oh, well, I work it out. I count what I'm eating, pay attention, to things like that. And then I'd walk past them and they're having a fucking meal deal. We're having a 600 calorie sandwich, a 200 calorie chocolate bar, and a fucking bag of crisps and maybe a bottle of Coke or something. And you're thinking,
or a bottle of Lucozade. It's like,
oh, yeah. That's it, man.
It's
like you're eating 600 calories, and I bet you'd rather have a fucking curry.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole thing, man. So I think I'm all behind prepping food and just making things you want, man. Eating a sandwich every day is great, but if that's what you want, but don't do it just because you think you need to,
I just because it was more convenience than anything, because I drive. Do you know what I mean? Like it's easier to eat a sandwich on the move than it is to like try and eat a Tupperware on the move. Now I do eat Tupperware. I do eat Tupperware on the move, like, but it's fucking difficult. Like it has to be like I'm spooning it. It's not, you can't do it with a fork, so it fucking falls off. But do you know what I mean?
You need to get some of those pitta pouches, mate. Just like load your chicken and rice into there, mate.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, man. That's it.
I fucking didn't.
I'm going to start a TikTok, mate.
What? I mean, I didn't even think about that. What the? That's what actually I'm going to do. I'll try it anyway.
Tesco's Warburton's ones, man. Like 160 calories for just like a pitta.
Or do you just like whack everything? I suppose you could use them boat things as well, no them.
Yeah.
The fucking,
that's a bit sketchy, that though, driving a lorry doing that way.
And then there's
rice going everywhere.
Rice and fucking
the loo roll that you fucking got behind your seat, hiding from the bus.
Oh mate, but it's fucking mental. That the whole fucking pandemic was crazy. It's still fucking, even some of it's still now. It's still residue now, and I'm like,
yeah. What's it like over where you are then?
Do you want me to tell you the honest truth about Belfast?
Go on.
No one gave a fuck. No one cared.
Everyone just going out.
Honestly, like we were portrayed on the news that like we were doing things by the book. The fucking population of Belfast did not give a flying monkey's ass crack, man.
Really?
Seriously, I like this. People were just, it was just all blasé, and it was just like, fuck it. The only things what happened because the government, they closed. You know what I mean? They closed everything down. They closed bars, restaurants, and stuff like that there. But in terms of like fucking like people meeting, house parties, it all happened. It all mate, still happened.
My invite to your party must have got lost in the mail or something. Didn't get that, mate. Fucking bowls of quinoa. We're going.
I said I was saying to one of the fellas in work the other month before I tested positive for COVID. I was like, how have we worked for the solid 2 years and I haven't even had a sniffle of COVID? And I was like, it's got to be bullshit. And then boom, I was like, no taste. There's me. You're fucking joking me, aren't you?
Oh, mate. Have you got your taste back yet?
No, nothing.
Shit, man.
Nothing. It's going on like nearly 2 months now. I can smell certain things. I was delivering to a shop yesterday and there's a chippy beside the shop, and it was the first time in like 2 months I smelt a chippy. And I was like,
that must be awful, man, being able to smell it and then put it in your mouth and not taste it.
Not taste it. Can't taste it. Can't taste anything. I'm actually like, I have no appetite to eat anything. Like, I crave stuff even when, no matter what.
Aren't you on a cut at the minute as well? That's fucking ideal, mate.
It's fucking. It's been the easiest cut I've ever done in my whole entire life. Like, it's just don't. Like, see if I'm not. See, even if I'm hungry and I've no appetite, I just don't eat.
Like,
So
you're not going to. Why would you eat chocolate? You only eat chocolate for the taste. You're not eating chocolate to get full, for example.
no, you're not. You're right. I'm not eating chocolate to fucking think, oh, I'll do me now for a couple of hours. You're eating it because I want a fucking bar of chocolate, mate, and it tastes amazing.
So if you can't taste it, fucking celery for you.
But I haven't eaten as much vegetables in my life that I have the last 2 months. Like,
is that just high volume eating, or is that just because
high volume eating and it just nothing tastes of nothing? So I'm just eating them, like, they're, because it's like vegetables are good for you, aren't they? So yeah. I'll just keep piling them on. And now I'm getting the family size box of salad from Tesco's or Lidl. The family size now, mate. It's like fucking.
Wait, a box of what?
But family salad.
Oh shit!
No, like he's got the shirt with a family, so it has like lettuce, tomatoes, onions, cherry.
Mate, I think I know the one you mean, man. Because I at work, if I'd forgotten to meal prep, I used to buy one of those. I'd buy a bag of, like, the microwave rice, Uncle Ben's job, and then I'd buy some cooked chicken and just bang it all in the salad.
Mate, there's some eating in them, I'm telling you. See, by the time I'm fucking telling you.
Mate, what used to happen though, if I overheated my fucking rice, it would start melting the box because it's made of shit plastic, so my salad box would start going like this.
Mate, see, by the time I fucking like you're eating it, see, by the time you're finished it takes me about half an hour to eat it.
Yeah, like, it's good. That's what you want though, man, especially if you enjoy eating like I do. I just like the process of doing it. I like sitting there having a meal. So, and you're just constantly,
I'm just constantly like eating like fuck. I'm like, holy fuck! It's a full. The whole box itself. Yeah. It's like 80 calories or something for the whole box, and it's fucking big.
Yeah, it makes cutting easy, doesn't it? Because it fills you up. Just shitloads of food.
So big and tiny, and then see if you pair it with like a fucking 5% lean mince, and you're just the volume is through the fucking roof, mate. And you don't eat for hours and hours and hours after. You're like, I can't eat. I'm fucked.
I think that's what people don't get though, man. If you want to feel full, do something like that. If you still want, if you're looking to lose weight, it makes it easy, doesn't it, man?
Are you? Pardon me. Are you on a cut now?
Yeah, so I'm about 12 weeks in. I'm just over about 11 pounds down. So been averaging about £1 a week, which was pretty much the top level of what I was looking for. I wasn't looking to push any higher than that, sort of £0.5 to £1 a week. But
what's your end goal?
Well, it's a tough one, to be honest. I've never competed or anything like that on stage, and I've always just done it kind of since I've just got into it, and like kind of bodybuilding and that kind of thing. I've just wanted to see progress myself. I started out when I was lifting, mainly sort of doing a bit of a powerlifting hybrid with bodybuilding, where I was really wanting to push the strength up on the compound lifts, your bench and your squat and your deadlift and things. But then I started liking sort of the physique changes. So I started wanting to put on muscle. And then when I first had to cut, I just thought, God, you're small. I need to get big. So I started eating more. And now it's kind of just see where we are, really. See where sort of, a year where the gym's been a bit shit because of them closing. We can come on to that. That was a stupid fucking idea, closing the gyms. Mm-hmm. But having them closed and not being able to consistently train, trying to train at home. So basically with this cut, I wanted to see where I was. And also this afternoon, I'm doing, or to start at 8 p.m, I'm doing a 12-hour overnight endurance race. And so I was looking to cut some body weight for that anyway, or a bit of body fat. Obviously still keeping protein high to retain as much muscle as possible. So kind of like look sick, run faster. That was
12 hours.
Yeah, mate. So it's a fucking
psychopath.
So it's a 5 mile course. It's overnight, and it's like, Tough Mudder, the normal Tough Mudder.
Here, see, before you're the type of guy that buys fucking cornflakes and puts sugar on them, aren't you?
What do you mean? Wait, coming from you? Sorry, how much chocolate's on your fucking porridge, mate? Why are we here? Because we both like putting sugar on fucking porridge. I'll put sugar on my cornflakes if you fucking want, mate. I'll put sugar on my Frosties, mate.
Never fucking trust a man that buys fucking cornflakes and puts fucking sugar on them, because they're fucking psychos. If you can't just fucking buy Frosties and stop being a dick. Do you know what I mean? Here, but I'm fucking drifting here because you said that 12-hour endurance race you're doing. Fuck, I don't even know the year. But anyway, years back, I did the 100-kilometer London to Brighton for Blind Veterans UK.
Oh, so man. Yeah, no.
Mate, I'm telling you now, it is still to this day one of the physically and mentally fucking toughest things I have ever did in my life, mate.
I bet it was, man. It's impressive. Did you get to the end?
I got to the end, yes. I got 21 hours and I fucking don't know, 21 hours and half an hour. I'm going to split down the middle anyway. It's something like it was something like that there. But
I wasn't going to go and try and beat it, mate. I wasn't going to be like, fucking, right then, do it in 21 hours and 10 minutes.
But I potentially probably could have done it, but it wasn't about time. It was just about finishing it. I didn't give a fuck if I get in it 23 hours and 59 minutes. I just wanted to do it. But I'm telling you, mate, see it like fucking 0.7, like at 70 kilometers in, mate.
Yeah.
You hit the wall, mate. The wall's there, and I don't physically. It's the only time I've actually the first time that I was actually physically not physically, like mentally challenged to keep going.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, that's the thing I think with running, isn't it? Like, because I was a runner before I touched weights. Before that, I was really fat, but then I started running, and I think that's the thing. Your legs, like, you start getting out of breath, then your legs start getting tired, then it's the mental battle. Then it's the mental battle. Are you willing to keep going? I think that's the hardest bit, to be honest. Because
your legs only get, do you know what I mean? My legs only got to a point where they only can't get any sorer.
Well, that's it, mate. And what I say to people is, if you're going to stop because your legs will fail, you won't have a choice in it, because you'll just fucking fall on the ground. If your legs stop working, your legs will stop working. If you can still keep going, it's just the mental battle of how much pain are you willing to tolerate and for how long are you willing to tolerate it.
And you know what kept me going, right? This is what I discovered. I actually genuinely like talking to people, right?
Yeah.
Because there was this wee woman, God love her. I genuinely hope she's still alive and kicking out there somewhere. Mate, she was 89 or something.
Jesus.
She was in her late 80s anyway, right?
That's impressive, man.
She had a fucking walking stick. She wasn't like a fucking like walking like that there, but she had a walking stick. And I was talking to her, and the reason she was doing it is because her husband was ex-military, and he passed away. So she thought, I feel a bit fucking. She didn't curse. She was quite respectable, but I'll curse because I'm a scumbag. She says, I wanted a fucking challenge, so I thought I would challenge myself and do this 100-kilometer London to Brighton thing.
Yeah.
And I just basically see from like 0.7, like 60 to like the last of it. I just stayed with her.
Did you?
Because I was like, see if she can go. There's no other, like, I can't just stop. Like,
I think it's a cliche to say, but it shows that age is just a number, man. You can get fit at whatever age you want. If you can still get out of bed, that's the hardest fucking lift, mate. Lifting your ass out of bed. Then you just get up.
But I was just mesmerized. Here's me. I hope I'm like that when I'm that age. If I ever make it that age, like, that is fucking.
Mate, keep on the Tesco salad diet to be sorted, man. You'd be laughing.
No, it is. It's the mental battle is more than is anything. Even when it comes down to actually training, like if you've set yourself a goal for training, for talk's sake, I don't know, you want to get in better shape. 9 times out of 10, it comes down to mental. After a couple of weeks, you'll be like, I'm not going. You're like, why am I not going? I'm like, I'm all right. Like, I'm not. My body's not sore. I'm all right. But your head's just like, you're not going. Dickhead, set you back down. And you're like, all right then. Okay, I'm not going.
I always say, like, I don't know about you, but I'm sure you do train early in the morning when you go to the gym. Yeah. And I find that when your alarm goes off at like 5:30, 5 a.m., whatever it is, and you wake up and you'll get like a fire of motivation in your head saying, go on, get up. And if you don't get up when that comes, you're not going to get up. Because 5 seconds after your brain says, go on, get up, it'll say, or fucking go back to sleep. And then And if you don't listen to it when it gives you that second motivation, you're going to go back to sleep and you're not going to go to the gym that day, or you'll go later on and have to go with every other fucker at 6 p.m. after work. So that's my tip for people if they can't get up to the gym. I was like, your brain will give you that opportunity to get up and take it. Put your foot on the ground, and once your foot's out of bed, you'll be up. And then once your day started, you're up and about.
I think it also comes down to like, see if you're not enjoying it. See if you've see if you've not fucking. See if you've give yourself a program that you fucking hate going to do. Like you're not going to stick to it. Like it needs to come down to like enjoyability. You need to be going. Actually, I'm going to have quite fun today in the gym.
And to be fair, that's why I think the mistake that people make on these like fitness influencers and people who create these cookie cutter kind of plans online is they think that everyone's just going to want to go and do a bodybuilding regime, or they think that they're just going to go and do some 60-70% glute workout. And actually, some people might enjoy team sports, some people might enjoy running, some people might enjoy CrossFit or whatever like that. And, you can get into a bit of banter about CrossFit versus bodybuilding and all that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, do what you enjoy and do what you can sustain.
Yep. Because if you enjoy it, you're going to stick with it and you're going to want to go. So you are. And
that's the thing, is that when it becomes a routine, it takes no motivation. You don't need any motivation to brush your teeth at night. You do it because that's what you do.
Yeah.
It's a stupid comparison, but it's true. When you're used to going to the gym, you don't think, God, I don't want to go to the gym. You're just like, well, when am I going today? Oh, all right, I'm going to get up and go. And if you enjoy it, then you're loving it when you're there. So
it's the mental bill. It's the mental state that it comes down to everything. Like even when you're like on a diet, like you're hungry, but you can push through hunger. Like there's a difference between hunger and starving.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like we need to be. You need to take a step back every now and again and go, actually, I am in a position of privilege where I actually get to choose to eat less food.
Oh, 100%, man.
Like
people can't have people don't have the choice sometimes,
Like you're in a position to go, actually, I'm going to eat less food because I want to get skinny. And you're like I'm in a position, you're in a position to actually make a decision that you can eat less food, where there's millions and millions and millions of people on this planet that don't even have a decision. They just can't eat.
Yeah, and you've got to recognize that, haven't you? You've got to, all of it, either. I mean, running water, just anything like that is a privilege. The fact that you can come in and say, I want to build a routine. I'm going to decide when I get up. I'm going to decide what I do with my day, and I don't have to worry about whether I've got water, whether I've got shelter, whether I've got food. You have the luxury of being able to make those decisions. And I think there's so many people that wake up and all they're worried about is whether they're going to get something to eat, how much they're going to get, whether they're going to have to skip a meal, and where they're going to sleep. And you know what? And it's not just in, third world countries. You get people who live, I live in Manchester, and there's a really bad homeless problem in Manchester. And you've got people there who, you see them and they're going to be waking up wondering whether they're going to be sleeping on the street and how cold it's going to be that night. Whereas we're sat here thinking, oh, should I put the heating on tonight? It's a bit chilly, isn't it? Or I'll put a hoodie on, something like that, So you gotta take a step back sometimes.
It makes you realize that like all these shitty excuses that we make for ourselves are just you're just being a wee dick, aren't you? You're just like it basically is. I was going to say bitch, sure, we'll probably get cancelled for saying bitch, even though bitch is a dog. But you're just being a dick. You're being a fucking dick, making shitty excuses. Oh, I'm just going to overeat today.
Yeah, I think. No, I think you're right. I think you just got to know what you've got. But then also, it's all relative, isn't it? Everyone has their own struggles, and it's getting a bit fucking deep. But
I like deepness, mate.
Oh, that's good. I think the other thing to bear in mind as well is remembering that happiness is very much relative to your position, and that the millionaire who's just bought their newest Lamborghini, they're not any happier than the person who lives in a third world country who's just managed to buy a bag of rice for their kids that day. They'll be buzzing about that because they managed to feed their kids, and that guy will be buzzing he's bought a Lamborghini. His happiness isn't better than her happiness. It's just happiness. And I think when you understand that, you can also recognize the position you're in, and you have your low days, you have your high days, but you're not going to be any happier if you're chasing money or if you're chasing success. You should be driven. You should try and succeed. Of course you should. I'm fully behind that, but you shouldn't think that you're going to. You shouldn't think the grass is going to be greener, because it isn't always.
No, I genuinely think you're right. Like I do, because everything does boil down to happiness. You need to just be internally happy.
Yeah,
do you know what
absolutely.
I mean? Like, of your like your situation or where you are now. Like there's happy points and in everything. And it's fucking quite easy for me to sit here and say that. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm fucking.
Well, it's another luxury. It's a privilege, isn't it?
Yeah, like people. Do you know what I mean? Like I've got a house, a car, a job, a wife, a child that hopefully all of them fucking love me and fucking. Do you know what I mean? And food in the fucking fridge.
Yeah,
I can choose what I'm going to eat. I can choose to fucking train. It all, like, do you know what I mean? If you feel, I feel very fucking privileged. I think we need every now and again, like, you need to just like take a step back and like have some gratitude of what you actually have, because
actually, mate, I think, to be honest,
coming back to this fucking piece of shit here, mate. £66 a month for what? So I can go on social media. For
your time. That's what it is, mate. £66 a month for you to give them 40 hours a day, or 40 hours a week, sorry, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and then you are just constantly, people say they don't. I don't compare. No, you do. It's subconsciously, you are comparing yourself to other people on this fucking toxic fucking. I'm giving this such a bad rep. It does have its positives, but I'm just trying to get my point across.
I'm waiting for the discount code for Apple here.
That's Samsung. I'm team Android. But
so am I, to be fair, mate.
That's another fucking debate we'll have a future down the line. But it's filled with so much toxicity. It's not even. It's big. It's fucking unhealthy for people. Like, and then people are just sitting there all day on TikTok, on fucking Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and they just feel fucking miserable.
Yeah.
Come off it. Because you're like, I don't compare myself to anyone. No, you do. Subconsciously, you are going, why the fuck is that dick on a beach fucking sipping fucking cocktails while I'm here about to go to work and it's fucking lashing outside?
Yeah, I think you've got to treat it like, I don't know, it's like a drug. It's addictive like a drug. But you've got to, I think the thing I try and get into, because as you all know, with Instagram, even just having an Instagram with some following, obviously notifications come in quite regularly. So there's always a temptation to pick up your phone and check it. But the problem is, you might pick up your phone and you might check a notification and then you'll be like, I'll see what's going on Facebook, or I'll see what's going on TikTok. And suddenly you give them 10, 15 minutes of your day to your phone, and you do that multiple times over a day, and you've just given up hours and hours and hours. And the problem is, at the end of the day, you'll think, what the fuck have I done today? And you won't think, I remember that time I liked that photo. That was sick. Loved that. Of course you won't. So I think that's the thing, is that you've got to use it. It's social media and mobile phones generally are great for so many things. Having a calculator, having an internet search, having a television basically, and a means of contacting so many people in your pocket is great. But just like anything, don't abuse it. Alcohol. It might be nice to go and have a drink with your friends. If you're drinking heavily every day, you've probably got a problem, possibly. And it can be the same with phones, and it can definitely get more toxic, especially with younger generations, when people are comparing themselves to, other kids at school, and they're judging themselves on how many likes they get. And it becomes this popularity contest that you can never get out of.
That's all. It's a popularity contest. How old are you?
I'm 27.
20. So we're near enough in the same peer group. I'm 31. So when I was growing up, none of this existed.
No, me neither. I got a flip phone. I got a flip phone when I was maybe 13, 14, maybe a bit later. Or I didn't have a smartphone or anything. I mean, then I remember we started getting iPod touches and things like that, and that was a bit later on. But even then
there was still no social media. But I can't really remember if there was any social media still back then. But it got to a point, like I didn't get like the iPhone touch, and I had to buy it myself when I was working. But when I was growing up, there was none of this. And I'm telling you, if any of my childhood friends ever are watching this, we had a fucking laugh every fucking day, and there was zero comparison to anyone.
No, you're doing it because you want to do it, not because you think someone on the internet who don't know, who lives in fucking China, is going to care about what you're posting on your Instagram story.
Every now and again, you would see the odd Ferrari that would fly past you on the street. You'd be like, "What the fuck? What's he do for a living?" Do you know what I mean? But you were you were so young and so fucking dumb. You were just you know what I mean? Man must have a fucking really good job. Do you know what I mean?
But the worst thing is, man, is that you might see someone driving past you in a Ferrari on the street, and maybe they have worked all their life and they can afford to buy it, and that's the one thing they want to buy, and that's great. But on Instagram, whether it be a fitness influencer or someone who's, showing off that they got lots of money, sometimes it's not even reflective of their real life. Firstly, it's a window into what they want you to see about their life. They're not showing you the normal parts of their life that aren't as attractive to Instagram. Probably some of them, people hire these sort of supercars just to take some photos in the door so they can post it, or they take out 300 quid from the bank and take a photograph of them holding loads of cash to make it look like they're balling. And it's just, and the thing is that especially when it comes to young kids, and you compare it to when we were kids, is that I can't imagine, I wasn't some major popular kid at school, and I wasn't looking, but you sort of, it's not as obvious, I guess, when because we didn't have social media. You'd have your group of friends and you'd go out with your group of friends, but there wasn't I wasn't there thinking, God, that group of friends is better than my group of friends. Whereas now I imagine kids are thinking, Christ, why are they getting all these likes and followers, and how are they affording to go and, hire out a mansion when they're 17 to go and fucking, these kids are doing stupid things, man. I don't get it.
Or like that group of kids over there in the playground, they all have 10,000+ followers on Instagram, and we're just sitting here and we're like, we have no followers, and I feel very inferior to them people when. And it's
the problem that popularity.
You're probably in a better position.
Yeah,
you are probably in a better mental state than them fucking idiots across the fucking playground with thousands and thousands and thousands of followers, because you don't know.
And they're not happy just because they've got followers or likes. They're not happy, and it's because
you don't know the amount of hate that they're probably getting on a daily basis from DMs, messages, comments. Do you know what I mean? Constantly being fucking ridiculed and shit, and then they're just feeling fucking worthless.
And it's because clout has become a currency now. It becomes what you're measured on in your in success. And actually, some people do make livelihoods out of social media, and credit to them. They obviously work hard on what they do, but most people aren't. And I'm not saying you shouldn't work on it, but just don't compare yourself. Set your goals. Stay in the lane you want to stay in. Go into whatever do whatever you want to do, but don't sit there and compare yourself to others. Yeah, it's just not going to get you anywhere.
That's why I've sort of fell off the whole Instagram thing, not really posting.
Yeah, I guess it's a good segue into that then,
because it's just it's just, I just can't be annoyed with it anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I think
you and I spoke about it about a year ago, maybe, because I go through phases. I went through a long stretch of not posting for a while, except when I first started, I was posting every day. I think for the first 2 years, I was posting on Instagram every single day. And I remember, man, it was bad. I was finishing work and I was looking at my watch thinking, I didn't have any photography lights or anything like that. I was looking at the natural light thinking, fucking hell, I better run home just so I can make some porridge, just so I can get in my window and take a picture because I've got some natural light, mate. I'm thinking, I'd much rather have a bowl of fucking curry or chicken or something like that. And instead, I'm eating a bowl of porridge just at 5 o'clock just because I wanted to get home and get the natural light. And I kind of realized that wasn't healthy. You get too obsessed with the numbers. And the funny thing is that half the time it has nothing to do with it anyway. I'm getting more, not that it matters, but I'm getting more engagement on posts now, just posting what I want to post, kind of when I want to post them, and just kind of fitting it in with your life. And I think if you stop enjoying it, and if it stops being a hobby, then there should be no pressure. You shouldn't put pressure on yourself to do it, because at the end of the day, it's a fucking social media account, Yeah,
it could all disappear tomorrow.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It could just disappear tomorrow, and it's all gone. And then what the fuck are you gonna do? Do you know what I mean? Fuck, I need this. Some people actually need social media. They're properly that addicted. They need it.
Yeah. Or if it's their jobs, what you're getting kids. It's an interesting question, because I don't want to put people down who've worked hard to build a business through social media. I think it's good for that. But it makes me worried for kids who, 17-year-old, 18-year-olds who built up thousands of followers and are making some sort of revenue from their brand that they've created, their brand being themselves. And if it were to all fall through, if government regulation were to come in about monetization on these sorts of platforms, or other, I know it already exists on YouTube, but if it was to happen to a greater extent on Instagram, or it was just to shut down and people aren't making money anymore, you might have someone who's in their 30s now who haven't got any work experience, and they'll be walking into a job and the employer is going to be saying, well, what have you been doing for the last 10, 15 years? And I don't know what an employer is going to say if they say, oh, well, I had a really big account on Instagram.
I was an influencer.
Yeah. And it's just a funny one, man. makes me think, if that's what people want to do, it's what people want to do. I'm not going to put them down for it, but
But that's another. Fuck me. This is I love shit. I guess here. This is another thing that everyone, like even me, I'm guilty of this. Even still to this day, like I don't know. It has to be. I don't know if it is social media, but they're like trying to obligate you that the 9 to 5 job is a load of shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like your 9 to 5's killing you.
Mm.
When some of the happiest people I know work 9 to 5.
You know what, mate? I'm glad you said that because I think this a lot as well. Because
do you know what I mean?
Working from home has made me realize I don't think I'd want to be full-time self-employed like influencers are, because I like the fact that I can work, because I never stopped working when I was working from home. I'd have my laptop here and I'd have work emails coming in at 9 p.m. at night or on a Sunday afternoon, and I just think, oh, that'll take me 20 minutes to deal with. I get my laptop out, I'll start working. Whereas when I work in the office, I could leave it there. And it made me realize that I'm the sort of guy that I like to leave work where it is and then come home and enjoy, going for a run on a weekend, climbing some hills, going to the pub, doing whatever, and that's the benefit of structure. And also by having a 9 to 5 or something close to it, you can fit your gym in easy. You can go in the morning and then you go to work, you've got your routine, and there's a lot of power in routine. And I think if you're going to be self-employed, if you're going to work at home and not work a 9 to 5, you have to make sure you're incredibly disciplined with it.
Yeah. No, you're
both in and out of work. Work hard when you're working and play hard when you're not.
My problem is freedom. Like I want freedom. Do you know what I mean? Like I want more freedom, more time to do what I want, more time with the child, more time with the wife.
And do you think you'd have more freedom working, being self-employed, or less?
But then that's the thing. It is. I don't know, because I've heard, like, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I read a lot of books. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and then like an entrepreneur, whatever the fuck they're called, anyway, are just like they are flat out all day. Like I listened to a podcast not too long ago with Eddie Hearn.
Oh yeah.
That man does not fucking stop. He does not stop. He says on the podcast, I don't see my children. I don't see my wife. I don't see my children. I am flat out. But he loves it. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, he loves what he does. He loves building Matchroom. But when he was talking about that there, he was like, I would be flying from New York to London, doing a press conference in fucking Scotland. Then I'm coming back down to London again. And then I'm obligated to take the children round to the park, but I'm round there, but I'm not there because I'm on the phone. Do you know what I mean? Because he's just
mentally checking out,
flat out, mate. So I don't know if it would give me more freedom. I don't know. It really depends. Maybe if this fucking podcast thing actually does take off and I can just fucking interview people for a living, which would be fucking handy. Do you know what I mean? But obviously that's fucking,
next time I'll come to the studio. Yeah,
the studio is the ultimate goal. But then again, I don't know if the studio would take away the fucking
personability of this kind of thing.
Yeah, like we're just sitting in my kitchen now talking.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
That's very true. Yeah. You don't. When it becomes official, it depends with it. But that, in some respects, I think that comes down to you, and I think you'd be great at it. That you
then it becomes a 9 to 5 job. Then it becomes a 9 to 5 job after that. Really? Because you'd be like, because then you have people working for you, and you have to be like, do you know what I mean? You have to like wait,
pay them, and
then office, like be in the office or whatever it is, the studio at 8:30 every morning, and then you can go home at fucking such and such a time. And do you know what I mean? It still becomes a 9 to 5. 9 to 5 for them, and but then probably not a 9 to 5 for me if it ever happens, because then I'm constantly like, you're constantly like, who am I getting on next? Boom, 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 boom. You know
it's always going to be work, but I guess if you're enjoying it, if you're enjoying the office hours, which would be this, then you're not, you won't feel like you're working. And when you click the end call button, you can take your kid around the park. Maybe you'll be on your phone, maybe you won't. But that just comes down to you, doesn't it? It comes down to that discipline. Yeah. Leave your phone at home.
I've gone off on a mad tangent. I just want to let people know that your 9 to 5 is not killing you. Do you know what I mean? Like if you have a 9 to 5 and you're happy, food on the table, roof over your head, people that love you.
Recognize the value of structure and
expendable income. Whether it be £100, £1,000, but if you have enough money to go and get yourself a cup of coffee or something, your life's actually all right, man. Your life's actually good. Appreciate it.
I think you're bang on there, mate. People really need to hear it as well. don't think that person you see on the other side of your phone screen is doing way better than you, or they're way happier than you. Because you don't know that. Maybe they don't see their kids. Maybe they don't have time to have a girlfriend, or maybe they don't, things like that. And I think that's a big thing. Recognize what you've got, take a step back. And you know what? I think it links back to fitness as well. People, whether it be what they can lift at the gym or how they look in the mirror or whatever it is. And, people, you get into body dysmorphia and all that sort of stuff, but people forget how far they've come. They'll look in the mirror and they'll think, God, I don't like how I look. They'll pick up their phone. They'll see someone who took 20 pictures at the end of their last cut, and they post it throughout the rest of the year when they're bulking. And they think, God, I wish I looked like that. And then what they actually need to do is look at where they were 3 years ago, not someone else. Look at where they were 3 years ago and think, look how far I've come. Look what I've achieved. And I think people really need to reflect on that. And that applies, as I say, to maybe it's your job. Maybe you can say, yeah, okay, I'm not earning $3,000 a week, but you know what? I've got £200 disposable income, and 5 years ago I had £50 disposable income. So
it's progress. You've made progress.
Exactly. And that's it. And if you're moving in the right direction, you're improving. Doesn't matter how fast, but if you're improving every day by even the most marginal amount, then you're going in the right direction.
What's the end goal?
For what?
Just
for me, in life.
What's the end goal? What's your end goal? Like, what is and generally, what's the end goal?
I think my end goal is to get
when
to the end of my life.
When it's all said and done.
When it's all said and done.
And Elliott is horizontal across the fucking living room window. Do you know what I mean?
Would say,
like, and the kids are fucking there, your wife's there, or your boyfriend's there. I don't know. I'm not here to make fucking, I'm not here to judge. Your family's in front. We'll just say family. When your family are standing over the top of you, what's the end goal? What is it?
To think that there's no experience or relationship or time wasted. I think that's the most important thing for me, is to be able to look back and say, God, yeah, every moment I could live, I did. Spending time with the right people, loved ones, friends, family, and going out and doing things that are just experiences. Because that's the other thing. I think we're all in a society now where we think that you get joy from property and ownership. And I don't think you do. I think we all like the idea of thinking, oh, great, I can buy the newest phone, or I can buy a massive telly. And you get excited about it and you buy it and you feel great because you get that immediate feedback. You get that dopamine hit.
Dopamine hit.
Got it. Yeah. And a week later, you're on your phone looking for the next thing. Oh, I need a sound bar now. Can't wait to get a sound bar. That'll be sick. And actually, again, when you're lying horizontal, you're not going to be thinking, oh, mate, remember that telly I bought? That was sick. Can't believe I bought that telly. That was great. Of course you're not. You're going to be thinking about, Jesus Christ, remember that time that we got a bloody pedalo in Mallorca and you fell off, you twat? That's what you remember. Yeah. You remember stupid things like that.
That's it. I think, I don't know, mine fucking changes all the time because I just can't. The wife hates it because every week I come up with like this just other crazy ideas, and she's like, "What?"
So what's the? I want you to answer the same question.
She just doesn't like she just like, I just not listen to you anymore because you don't even know what you have, especially when me and my wee brother get together, because we come up with some crazy fucking stupid business ideas, like, and they're like, we'll do it. But nothing ever comes of it because they're just so fucking bizarre. You're just like, that's never going to work. Even
mate, if you invite me on some fucking reality TV show that you started in 2 months' time, I swear to God, fucking Michael's Island, mate. It's going to be.
I think that my end goal now, from actually being a dad, is just like trying to not steer him. Like try and point him in the right direction. Yeah. Or just point them in, like, I don't know, like I don't want to, like, I'm not going to be one of these parents that says you're doing this. Do you know what I mean? If he doesn't want to work in a 9-to-5 job, then he doesn't want to work in a 9-to-5 job. But I just don't want him, like,
have you thought about whether you're going to limit his availability to social media?
Nah, because
Is it inevitable? So therefore,
it's going to happen. Like it's going to happen whether I like it or not. There's not fuck all I can do about it. But what I would say is like, people, do you have kids? You don't have any kids, you don't?
No, I don't.
No. See, when you get before you have kids, you're like, my kids are never eating McDonald's. My kids are never going to eat chocolate.
They're gonna. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Well done, bro. Come back to me 2 years after you've had a child. Yeah, and see how well that's going, because Garn fucking tea, they're gonna have a McDonald's and a fuckload of chocolate. Like things change. You know what I mean? I'm never gonna let it. I said this. I hold my hand up. I said, my child will never fucking sleep in the same bed as me.
Oh wow. How many times has it happened?
He slept in the same bed as me and the wife every single night since he was born.
Wow.
Yeah, every night, because my mindset's changed, because it's going to come to a point where he's going to get to an age where he's just going to lock himself in his room.
Get the time in now when you can.
Do you know what I mean? Like, people are saying, like, I'm still getting it now, nagging. You need to get him out of your bed. You need to do it. I'm like, no, I don't. You're saying that to me, but this is fucking me. I'll do what the fuck I want, right? Yeah. If he wants to come into my bed and sleep in the middle of us, I think between 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, he wakes up, he's fucking going to do it. There's fuck all you can do to change that, because I'm not changing it for you. Because it's going to come to a point where I'm going to end up having to buy him a PlayStation 6, 7, whenever the fuck it is. And I'm not going to see him. He's just going to be locked away.
Yeah. And you know what? I've heard, as I said, I don't have kids, so I can't talk from first-hand experience, but I've heard that, up until the point you have children, you are the most important person in your own life, largely speaking. And once you have children, that changes. Suddenly, they are the most important person in your life. And, when you're making decisions like that, that's what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, you know what? I want the time with my child, and I want him to be happy, and I want him to have the best experience that he can. And you'll have your own parenting skills, and I don't think there is a right approach to it.
There's not. Sure everything's bluffed. Everything is bluffed, and that's a fucking fact, mate. It's complete bluff. No one knows what they're doing. No one knows what they're doing. I say this to people all the time. I don't even know what I'm doing in life in general, and I do not know how I have ended up in this position I am right now. I just don't know. It's all been bluffed. I've bluffed everything.
Everyone's doing it, mate. Fake it till you make it. That's what
fake it till you make it. I spent my fucking my younger years prior to 16 overweight, unactive, not really into sport, into football, so to speak, not really a good footballer. To them, people saying, you're never going to get into the army. And then I was like, no, I'm going to join the army. Into the army, and then the rest is fucking history. Fat, overweight kid joined the army and did pretty well in it for 10 or 11 years. And then, do you know what I mean? What? I don't know what happened.
But it's one of those times, isn't it, mate, where you've made that decision and the whole trajectory of your life has changed. Yeah. That morning you woke up and said, right, I'm going to go to the army. That changed, that gave you discipline, I'm sure. I'm sure it gave you a direction. And you've come out of that, I'm sure, a different person. And now the values that you'll have will be entirely different. And, your loves will be different. Of love of sport and love of the gym and training and diet and things like that.
Yeah, just because then I got into then for not being very sporty, then actually getting into sport because I was in an environment that pushed sport. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was I was fat and overweight. They ended up being a fucking cross country runner.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Went through this mad phase, like you said you did there earlier, where you run. I just run everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And got I wouldn't say I was skinny, but I had a runner's belt. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I don't know how much you want to go into background and stuff like that, because it can get a bit heavy. But I went through something similar. I lived all, my childhood up to my early 20s, all through university and stuff like that, really overweight. And I was into going outdoors. Like, I wasn't someone to just sit indoors, but you know what? I had the Xbox 360 and I was sat there playing Modern Warfare, Call of Duty, whatever it was, at home, eating loads of food, not caring what I was putting in my mouth. And then I went and did this, it was like a zip wire, it's a massive zip wire, right? Honestly. And it's a funny one, but I hadn't weighed myself pretty much all my life. But I was a big guy and they had to weigh me to do this zip wire. They said, we got to weigh you so we know what setting to put it on. Anyway, so I got on this scale It said like 105 kilograms. I was like,
Big. You were big.
I was like, I never thought I'd be over 100. And that was the moment. That was when it was about 2016 or 2017. And I sort of said, I'm going to do something about this. And I was with an ex-partner, and she was also looking into sort of losing some weight as well. And so what we did is we got a whiteboard and stuck it in the kitchen and just wrote our weights on it. And I still didn't know anything about nutrition. You know, now I've done a lot of reading and I've educated myself, but at the time I didn't know anything about it. And now I look back, I think I was probably eating about 1,200 calories a day. I was making a really small salad. I was buying like a few slices of ham, putting it on a salad, putting it in a Tupperware, taking it to work. And I was just having basic porridge for breakfast in the office. And I didn't have any motivation to go to the gym. But one of the bosses at work was really into the gym. And I told him I wanted to get into it. And he said, well, I go at lunchtime, so we should go together. And I thought, I wanted to impress the boss. So I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And what I'd do is every day I would just pack my bag and I'd put it by my desk with my gym kit in. And he'd walk past my desk every lunchtime and go, we going then? And I'd be like, yeah, right. And after 3 or 4 weeks, the routine was built. And I started going then. And I still didn't know what I was doing at the gym. I wasn't lifting weights. All I was doing was getting on a treadmill. And I remember getting on a treadmill and just watching my stomach bounce up and down, thinking, Jesus Christ, like, what are you doing? It's like filling a Tesco bag with milk, mate. That's what it looked like. But anyway, 10
pound of shite in a £5 bag.
yeah. Cheers, mate.
Oh, I don't know if you're not allowed to slander people anymore.
You know what, mate? It's okay.
Take that back.
It's all right, mate. My lawyers will be in contact with you afterwards, don't worry. And so I didn't know what I was doing. But what I got into the habit of doing was I was every other day I would run 5K at the gym. And on the alternative day, I would do sprints on a treadmill. So I was just entirely cardio. And I lost over the course of a year. I got from 105 to 65 kg.
Fuck me.
Yeah, which is not a healthy diet. I would never advocate anyone do that. That is mass under eating. And I looked skeletal. I looked like I had an eating disorder. And I remember I was into hiking and going out and climbing hills and doing stuff like that. And there's a picture of me on top of one of these hills from back then. I remember saying to my mate at the time, I was like, mate, I'm going to take my coat off. Take a picture of me when I'm up here. I look shredded. I fucking didn't. Mm-hmm. I've looked back at the picture now and I was skinny and my wrists and my ankles are absolutely tiny. And without getting into it too much, I then went into a bit of a spiral of an eating disorder because the thing is that having lost so much weight, I was then worried about bouncing back. And I was worried, even though I know now that it could never have happened, you tell yourself that if you go off plan, you're going to suddenly put 5 stone back on. And of course you're not going to, but you've got yourself in a routine of under eating by doing it for so long. And even to increase to a healthy diet of maybe 2,500 calories feels wrong, feels like overeating. And it then got into a cycle for about 6 months to a year of binging and purging, where I would eat 1,200 calories during the week. I'd get to Friday, Saturday, and I would just lose control. I can't describe it any other way than a complete loss of control. It was literally I wouldn't be hungry, but I couldn't stop shoving cookies, ice cream, crisps, whatever. And it would get to the point when I would think to myself, well, I can just make myself sick and then I can keep eating. And then I'd get to the point when on a Sunday where I think, well, I may as well keep eating now because tomorrow I'll be eating 1,200 calories. So I better enjoy it now. And obviously, when the longer that went on, I learned that I was an eating disorder. I also learned that it wasn't a healthy way to live and that actually people can die from things like that eventually. And actually, I met one of my best mates now who started working at the same place. He's in the armed forces too, and he was into strength training, and he was looking to improve his cardio. And by this point, if I'm allowed to say it, my cardio was pretty sick. You know, I could, when I first ran a 5K, I think I did it in about 38 minutes, needing a break. And by my lightest, I was running it in 17 minutes 40.
Fuck, that's quick.
So I was fucking great at running, but I was weedy and I didn't have any muscle on me at all, really. Mm-hmm. And he sort of said, well, if you can help me with my cardio, I'll help you with strength training. And so he knew a lot about strength training from the army, and he just got me into lifting. And suddenly a switch went in my head. And once I could see, I then wanted to put on weight because I wanted to put on mass. And then I started reading about it. Then I started educating myself, reading books, listening to podcasts, watching videos, talking about nutrition, muscle, just muscle building and health and fitness generally, realized the position I'd been in. And the rest is kind of history then, really. I then just kept educating myself. And now, I'm not a qualified nutritionist. I'm not a PT or anything like that. But people do, as I'm sure you've experienced too, people will ask your advice on things like that. And I'm happy to talk from my own experience and what I've read and signpost people to useful sources of information. Because people are at different stages in their journey. Mm-hmm. People might be just after they've lost loads of weight. People might be before they're losing weight and asking how to do it. And we can get into a conversation about how I think you should lose weight and diets and things like that, because I don't think you should do it the way I did. But no, I've come out of it now.
I've actually written it down. I've actually written it down here because you said a couple of good points there. But I'll go on to the one that I put down there: eating disorder. Yeah. I've genuinely went through the same similar thing to what you did, and I think I came down to being too over restrictive for calories for too long a period to try and achieve a certain look.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And you're not going to get it. You think you're going to look like Jeff Side, or you think you're going to look like one of these bodybuilders.
Yeah, and you're not. No. But that's when I was getting to a point where I was doing the use, but mine wasn't on the weekend. Mine was at nighttime.
Right.
So I would have my calorie intake goal on my food tracker app, MyFitnessPal. I would eat them, and then I would get to a point I would there's fucking Biscoff spread in there, man.
It's the dangerous stuff, man.
There's Biscoff spread in there. There's pancakes. There's crumpets. There's toast. Boom. And then it was off to the races we went every fucking night, mate. I'm telling you. But just binge eating like a fucking idiot every single night. Yeah. And this went on for weeks, months maybe.
Yeah.
And I was just gaining weight, and I didn't care. I was just like, fuck it. I don't actually care anymore. Because then I would the dad starts on Monday again. And I would try and be putting myself back into more of a calorie restricted diet to try and mitigate what I've been doing. And
or over exercising. People over exercise sometimes, don't they?
Or over exercising, yeah. It's just people need to be very careful. It's fucking difficult.
And I would say to people, talk to someone about it. You talk to some professional if you can, but even just mentioning it to family and friends, because I know that it's easy to hide, especially, if you're eating late at night, you can do it without people noticing, because people don't actually pay that much attention to how much you're eating always. And if you're secretly, just chucking an extra few chocolate bars in your bag or just raiding the cupboard a bit more frequently, people won't notice it. And if you're stepping into the realms of purging, people don't question what you do when you go into the bathroom. They're not going to think, well, is he sticking his fingers down his throat to make himself sick? Or is she doing that? And you'll have moments when you think when you know you shouldn't be doing it, and that's when you need to talk to someone about it. And then you can start to educate yourself on it, and you can educate yourself on the dangers of it. And I think
it's dangerous. It's more. It affects your mental health massively.
Massively.
What does, because then you start comparing yourself to what you looked like 3 weeks ago, and you don't look like that anymore because you're just full of. You think you've gained fat. You've probably gained about a pound of fat, but the rest of it, the other 5-7 pounds,
water.
It's just pure water. It's pure water. It'll come up. You could get it off if you really wanted to in a couple of weeks, and you'd be back to where you were. But then you're not developing healthy habits. No. Do you know what I mean? Because then you're just constantly you can't stay in a calorie deficit the rest of your life because you'll die.
Well, exactly. That's the thing, isn't it? And I think I would always say to people that the most fundamental thing is understanding and knowledge with diet. It's to educate yourself on it, because that will stop you going on things. I really disagree with things like Slimming World and Weight Watchers and all these sort of fat loss clubs and fad diets, because what you're actually doing is paying to have the motivation removed. you're paid, so you don't need to be motivated if someone else will just tell you what you can and can't eat. And I think fundamentally that perpetuates an eating disorder. And actually, all you're doing is lining the pockets of the people that own the Weight Watchers or the Slimming World clubs, because what will happen is, and I know I'm teaching, grandma to suck eggs here. I know you know what you're talking about, but it's the fact that people will, let's say you've got a 90 kilogram person and they'll go into Slimming World and they'll be on a diet that they're told they can only eat certain things. And maybe they'll get down to being 70 kilograms, for example. And they'll think, great, Slimming World, mint, I've completed it. And what they'll do then, they'll stop paying and they'll go back to how they think they should eat, which will be the diet of a 90 kilogram person, because they haven't learned the lesson of how to eat and how to change their lifestyle. And what will happen is over 6 months to a year, they'll be 90 kilograms again. And they'll think, well, I remember what worked last time, Slimming World. Mm-hmm. So I'll go back there, I'll pay them again. And all they're doing is creating a cash cow. No pun intended. And
they it's trying to find, it's fucking difficult. I think I'm only starting to find it now. It's trying to find a healthy balance.
I think you need to be confident in your own ability. Know that if you put on weight because you went and enjoyed a few drinks with your friends, or you went on a holiday where you ate what you wanted because you wanted to enjoy yourself, know that if your goal is to lose weight and you want to get back to where you were 6 weeks ago, then you can do, because you have the knowledge and understanding of what changes you need to make to do it. And I don't mean a crash diet. I don't mean massively over restricting. Yeah. I just mean making those minor changes, slightly increasing your activity or slightly reducing your calories. Eat less or move more.
Yeah,
if that's what you want to
do. The ultimate goal, in my opinion, my opinion, is to try and find maintenance.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Try and find maintenance. Whether that be within a certain calorie fucking number, but just try and get down to if you can get down to a healthy weight, whatever you deem is healthy for you, because when you're in a healthy weight, when the number, I actually feel quite good at this weight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm still at higher performance in the gym. I can still hit numbers in the gym. My body can still change at maintenance. I can still go out at the weekend and have takeaway and stuff like that there, and then, do you know what I mean, come back onto it. But I think my opinion is to try and find a happy medium, where if you did want to lose a wee bit of body fat because you're going on holiday or a wedding or something like that there, then you can just drop them down a wee tiny bit. Or if you go, actually, I want to try and push and try and grow some more muscle tissue, you can just go, boom, I'll just put them up a wee tiny touch. But ultimately your settling point is somewhere roughly in the middle. And
I think that's based on genetics as well. And I think that's the problem, is that with Instagram, again, is that people will see others who maybe genetically don't hold as much body fat on their abs, but that will be their set point. And you know what? Maybe the person who's looking at their abs, maybe they'll have incredibly developed shoulders. I know I don't naturally hold much body fat on my shoulders, so I can be a higher body fat, but my shoulders will look leaner. But I have to trim a lot of fat off to get visible abs. So it's not a comfortable body fat for me to have visible abs. It's just, it's restricted. And again, that comes down to not comparing yourself. And if you find that happy medium, be comfortable where you are. Make sure you've got energy. Make sure you're sleeping through the night and you're not waking up because you're starving. Make sure it's
not nice.
Yeah, no. And make sure you want your lift to be going up at the gym. You don't want your mood to be fluctuating because you're so hungry you can't focus on anything else, and you're snapping at your friends because you just want to eat a Mars bar and you tell yourself it's 2 calorie dense.
Yeah. No, that's where I think the happy medium will be, is to try and find somewhere in the middle, give or take, and just be happy, mate. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to have abs to be happy.
No, of course you don't.
I've been there.
Social media tells you different, mate.
Social media does tell you different. I've been there a number of times. I'm very close to having abs now. I have abs now. Yeah. If I was to tense and have the right lighting, I'll have abs. Yeah. But it's not.
Mate, lighting does more than any diet. I'll tell you that.
We walk around fully clothed. No one's going to see them. It's only you.
All right, mate, speak for yourself. This is a change for me, mate. I almost came on here topless.
But I suppose it all comes down to it's each to their own. Do you know what I mean? You do you, mate. That's what it is. If you want to be fucking lean all year round, then be lean all year round. Some people can just be naturally, genetically gifted to be lean all year round.
Yeah, I remember. So I went to a talk some time ago, and Ross Edgley, was giving a talk there. I'm not sure whether you've read any of his books. He
I
wrote
have
the
read his
world's
books.
fittest
Oh,
book. Yeah.
Fucking
Top guy.
unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely savage. And he's someone a bit of a role model, I guess, for me in terms of the idea of. He said in this talk that I went to see, he said, "Don't do a certain activity because you want a certain body. Do the activity you want, and you'll have a body associated with that. Your body will adapt to the activity that you're doing. So if you want to be a marathon runner, then be a marathon runner, and your body will look like that of a marathon runner, and that's great because you're doing what you love, you know. And if you want to look like a bodybuilder, then, you know, do a hypertrophy based workout if that's what you enjoy. But don't think that, you know, don't be dictated to by how you think you should look, because your body will match the activity that you're doing. And, you know, he's a great example of that. Yes, he looks pretty juiced out of his mind, to be honest. But
he does. He looks fucking juiced out the fuck. So he does. He's massive.
Yeah, I think he might have been sipping on the Capri Sun just a little bit, but I think he's a guy that has, you know, he's achieved incredible feats of sport and endurance.
Oh, he got a swim round Britain.
Yeah.
What about that? He was in no way. See, like halfway around that, he was not in shape, man.
No, he came back. He looked like a seal.
Yeah, he was fucking massive, but it was suiting that physique that he had for that. Had to be
his body adapted. It specifically adapted to that. Well, the said principles. You know, it's not mine. Obviously, it's his, or I think it came from a philosopher that said the specific adaptation to impose demand. His body will adapt to the demand he's placing on it. And for that swim, he needed massive arms and shoulders and rotator cuffs so that he could constantly swim every day.
And a
so
high percentage of body fat to keep his
himself warm. Yeah. British seas aren't fucking, you know, warm. They're freezing. So, and he needed to blend in with the fucking whales.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. It's just try and find a happy medium.
I always wanted. I know I have got physique.
Binge eating or eating disorders are more common than what we actually think they are.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And body dysmorphia.
Body dysmorphia.
Everyone's looking in the mirror thinking, God, I wish my arms were bigger, or I wish my stomach was smaller, or whatever. I wish my jawline was more chiseled. Mm-hmm. And you're never going to be happy.
You're never going to be happy. You're just going to be chasing empty happiness it'll never be there. Do you know what I mean? Like you have to just be happy for what you have now.
No, you're bang on. I think if you can find what you enjoy, then don't stress too much about how you look. If you want to have some physique goals, then do it, but make sure you're enjoying it. Don't do it because you think someone else wants to see you with a six-pack. No one else cares.
I had another thing written down here, right? Because I've had a bit of experiences with it, and you're actually it's plastered all over your Instagram. Hill walking, hiking.
Yeah, it's my main hobby.
How did that all come about?
So I'm in Manchester, so I've got the Lake District, the Peak District, the Forest of Bowland, Yorkshire Dales, all within an hour and a half's drive. And for me, I'll tell you this, you know, we haven't really spoken about work, but I work in law. So my job is very sitting in an office, kind of heavy in the middle of a city. I can never other than doing it from home, I can never do my job out in the countryside. So every weekend I was thinking to myself, I just need to get out. I need to get out of the city and I need to clear my head. And the best way I found to do that was hiking. Because I'll tell you what, mate, when you're sat on top of a hill, looking out at all these mountains and you're thinking you've got problems, they seem like nothing because you feel tiny and you think, my problems mean fuck all. I am a little ant on this earth that someone could just squash at any minute. And my problems mean fuck all. And I think it puts everything in perspective to me. And, you know, I don't do it for exercise, but it is great exercise. And I've started, I've got a bit more into the climbing side of things now. So, you know, sometimes I'll go out and do some climbs. You know, sometimes in the past we've got ropes out, but a lot of the time it's just kind of doing it without ropes, doing some scrambles along ridges like that. And I just love the adrenaline rush, if I'm honest, mate.
Because I did hill walking when I was in the military, when we went to the Highlands.
Oh, nice. Scotland, I went there recently. Yeah.
And it was fucking class, man. Like,
were you tabbing the whole time?
No, it was actually proper hill walking.
Oh,
so it was
nice.
Like it was a hill walking course. I was doing it to be a hill walking instructor.
Nice.
It was amazing. And we like, I forget what they're called, but they're basically like run down houses or something, or like Victorian brick style houses from like the 1700s or something, but you stay in them.
Yeah.
They're free to stay in.
Oh,
Like
nice.
it's something to do with the Scottish, I don't know, the Scottish government or the Scottish council or something. They keep uptake. I think it's a charity based thing, but they keep an uptake of these like buildings, and you can stay in them because
Right.
it gets you out of the elements of the Highlands, because you can see how fucking brutal the Highlands come. Like, so it's
Yeah.
like there's fires and all in them, and there's like beds, but they're not like they're just beds with like planks of like planks of wood. But you just put
Yeah.
put your sleeping bag and your roll mat on top of it, and you sleep, and you're out of the fucking you're out of the elements. But it was class, mate. It was.
But it was. Yeah, man. I love the camping. I love doing the wild camping when you just go up on the hill, you pitch a tent, you sleep in the tent wherever you stopped, and you keep going. It's just, honestly, mate, it takes you out of the social media, takes you out of the city, it takes you out of all that crap. Because apart from anything else, you haven't got any fucking signal.
You've no signal, no, exactly.
So
but it's something that I've like tried to look back into to actually go and do it again.
Hey,
So
come over to Manchester, mate. I'll take you on a walk. I promise you that.
Me and the child are coming to Manchester in February.
Are you? No way.
We are, yeah.
Well, mate, my birthday's in February, so
February 12th.
My birthday's February 14th. Valentine's Day, mate.
We're flying over February 11th, the Friday before it, and then I'm flying back February 14th, the Monday morning. Me and him are coming over to watch Man United Southampton match.
Nice. That'd be good.
Because I actually see, before I left the military and moved back home, like I loved Manchester, man. Because I used to have a season ticket for Manchester United.
Oh, nice.
For about 5 to 6 seasons. So I was constantly always in Manchester. Always. And it was I say this to people all the time, Manchester should be the capital of England.
Yeah, mate, I agree.
I've a couple of points for this now. So this is my theory behind it, why it should be the capital of England.
Remind me though, because I've got a fact about how it almost could have been.
Right. But first of all is the train station, right? Piccadilly. You can go to anywhere in the whole of Britain from that one train station. And near enough, all the trains are just direct trains to where you want to go.
Yeah. Where
London, you have to get on a train in London, but you have to stop other places and change over and then go up. Manchester, you're near enough, you can go, boom. You can go, it's like straight out to anywhere you want to go. So it is. It's near enough in the middle of Britain, give or take, argument's sake. It's near enough.
Central, yeah.
It's nearly there. Shopping is also better in Manchester than London.
You reckon?
I do. I think there's
more smaller, there's more variety, definitely.
There's more variety. The food is better.
Yeah. Good for food in Manchester, yeah.
The food is unbelievable. And final point, it's got the greatest football team on the planet. So it has. That doesn't really. You don't really need any more than that there.
So when are you moving to Manchester?
I wanted to move to Manchester.
Did you?
So it did, yeah. But house prices are ridiculous.
Yeah, they're pricey. Cheaper than London, but I mean, I lived in London.
And that's another thing. It's cheaper. Yeah. It's cheaper to live up north than it is in London. It's cheaper to go to Manchester. It's cheaper for a flight to Manchester. It's cheaper to stay in Manchester. Everything's it's better.
Mate, you're preaching to the choir here, mate. I'm with you.
I'm Team North. So,
yes. Don't let the Scottish hear you say that. Apparently, we're down south to the Scots.
No, but honestly, Manchester's it's a fucking wonderful city, man.
I agree. You know, there's a hotel in the centre of Manchester called the Midland Hotel. And watch now, someone who's watching this will call me out and say this is bollocks. So I've just been told this, so I'm holding my hands up here. But I heard that the Midland Hotel, which is a really old hotel, I think from like the 1800s, and they found that in Hitler's invasion plan of the United Kingdom, he was going to make that his base of operations for the entirety of the UK, which is pretty crazy. I mean, I'm fucking glad that didn't happen, but just as a point interesting about the centrality of Manchester for the rest of the UK.
No, I love Manchester. I'm actually really looking forward to coming over because my mate John lives in Stockport.
Yeah.
Stockport.
Stockport. Yeah.
I've stayed with him a couple of weeks, and I just love the place, man. That's where I did my PT qual in Manchester as well.
Oh yeah, nice.
What is it? That wasn't actually in the centre of Manchester. It was on the. It was on the outskirts. One of them big fancy hotels. What are they called?
What, like a Premier or something?
No, there's two of them. There's one in city centre and there's one on the outskirts. Oh, fuck. Don't know. I'll have to get
So
back to
you staying in the centre then when you come down with the boys?
I was when in February.
When you come down with the lads,
Yeah, I'm going to stay in. I was going to try and stay as close to Old Trafford as possible, just for the wee man, so I can get him. It's easier to get the Old Trafford and back.
Yeah.
But if I even to stay in the city centre, it's still even not that much of a journey to Old Trafford from the city centre. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Looking at hotels over Salford Quays and stuff like that there.
It's nice
because
of them.
I am like I can sort of manage my way around Manchester. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not foreign to me, if that makes sense. Like I understand roughly how to get around.
Well, if you and the boy want some good food, mate, just hit me up.
Oh, I will be hitting you up because fuck the mate. Oh,
it's
and also my favourite artist is from fucking Manchester as well.
Go on,
Bugsy Malone.
Oh, funny that, mate. When I was studying, I had a second job as a chef, and Bugsy Malone used to come in to the place I used to cook at all the time, and all the chefs would always freak out when he came in. Yeah, I fucking cooked Bugsy Malone's tea before. There you go. That's my claim to fame, mate. I'll tell him that, mate. I'm finding me. Remember those chips you had? Yeah, I made them.
And also, like, one of my favourite fucking YouTubers lives in Manchester, doesn't he? Joe Delaney, or did he move?
Joe Delaney, yeah, no, I think it's I used to train at JD Gyms, and he trained there for a while. And I remember when I first started watching him, because he has like I think he has Atlas, the god, tattooed on his arm or his calf or something like that, which is holding the globe. And I remember us being at the gym, looking over at some guy on the leg extension machine, thinking, "What the fuck do I recognise that guy?" It was Joe Delaney. Yeah, he knocks about Manchester. But I mean, it's a lot of even like My Protein, like the Hut Group. It's all based around here. So it's quite a lot. And even Salford Quays and Media City, all the big businesses from London, or a lot of them, have moved to Manchester too because it's just cheaper.
It's cheaper. That's why it should be the capital. I'm going to put a petition out and get it to be the capital of the United Kingdom.
Mate, because the prices will all go up.
That's a fair point. You'll never be able. You have to buy like a 1-bedroom bed set for like £500,000.
I'll tell you what, mate. What we do?
Fuck that, Michael.
We buy some property in Manchester now while it's cheaper, and then we start the petition. Yeah.
Then we put the then we put the petition out. My goal, right, was always, I think is it Alex Ferguson Way?
Oh yeah.
Down it. There's houses on the left hand side.
Yeah.
Right. I said my goal was like I'm buying one of them houses. Now, there's no disrespect to people who are living there now, if they're ever listening to this. They're not top end. They're not top end houses, to be honest. They're like townhouses or something like that. There, I don't even think they have a fucking back garden. But I was like, that is perfect. Like, you could throw my fucking trainer at Old Trafford.
Yeah, you can.
Do you know what I mean?
You'll be proper in it then, though. You'll get all the fans when on Derby Day. You just have riots in your street outside your house, but you'll be in it.
But I will be fucking hooking you up when we come across. Like, come and fucking meet me and fucking show me the hidden places that I don't know in Manchester to eat.
Absolutely, mate. There's some great places to eat. Because that's the thing about Manchester. It's mostly independent places. I don't know whether you've ever been to Northern Quarter, but Northern Quarter...
Have I?
Again, not wanting to insult anyone here, but from the outside, Northern Quarter looks a little bit run down because they're all old buildings, but then each establishment is just, you walk inside and you're just hit with like modern interiors, and it's all stylized. You know, they're all just independent businesses that are absolutely killing it, and they've got some great chefs there that are cooking it.
That's what I like about Manchester as well. It's not chain restaurants.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's like independent restaurant shops.
Yeah, and there's Black Milk, mate. And I don't know if you've seen them over Instagram, but they're the people that make that Kinderella sauce, the stuff that's inside a Kinder Bueno. There's the cafes in Manchester, mate, and it is unreal. Honestly,
we're going. We're going there.
Yeah, and donuts across the road. So
and donuts is that's at that place you keep posting.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Fucking get in. I'm actually genuinely looking forward to it. Like,
I'm expecting you to make one of these proper influencer YouTube videos, and it's like, I ate 10,000 calories in Manchester for a day.
For a day. Welcome
Featuring barbell. That's what it'll fucking say.
No, I will be fucking hooking you up when we'll come across. Like, so well.
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
Why did you start your page?
Because I wanted to show people that you didn't have to eat chicken, broccoli, and rice to reach your goals, to reach your fitness goals.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to show people that I don't always like to say if it fits your macros, because sometimes that can get a bad rap. I don't think it should, but I think the fundamental point is that if you understand calories, you can eat what you like. And I don't know whether you saw it recently, but I actually had someone comment on one of my posts saying, aren't you worried about getting diabetes because of all the sugar in what you're eating? And I replied to him and I said, well, actually, there's 6 grams of sugar in this. It was a thing of baked oats. It had like a protein bar on top and stuff like that. Had an Oreo as well. And I said, there's about 6 grams of sugar in this. I said, a can of Coke's got about 16 grams and a Mars bar's got about 12. And I said, people just don't understand essentially what they're putting into their mouth. And I think there's nothing wrong with having a Mars bar. There's nothing wrong with having a bar of chocolate if you can make it fit your goals, and if it can make it fit your macros. And I wanted to show people that. I wanted to show people that you don't have to eat chicken broccoli. You don't have to eat boring food that you don't enjoy just because you think that's what dieters eat. That's what fitness people eat. Well, no, it's not. People eat what they want to eat, and either you're educating yourself on what you're eating, or you're not. You're either mindlessly throwing things into your mouth, or you're thinking about it. It doesn't matter what it is. You can eat a Big Mac for every meal every day if you want and still lose weight. You're not going to come out of it very well. Your blood pressure is probably going to shoot through the roof.
Yeah, because there's that fella.
The guy who did Super Size Me. Oh, well, there was another guy, wasn't there, who did eat a Big Mac every day.
He had a Big Mac every day. What was his name? He's on Instagram.
I know the guy you mean. I can't.
He's American.
Yeah, well, I think he was on that. He was on one of the documentaries as well. But yeah, I know the guy you mean. And so, to be honest, I was following people like you. I was following people like Alan, Scrambled Legs, who I've met up with in Manchester. He's from around these parts. He's an absolutely top guy. Yeah, he's disgusting. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
But he lives in Manchester now, so he's converted. And I was following you guys, and I was thinking, well, I'm throwing a fucking bar of chocolate on my porridge every morning to fit my diet. These lads are doing it. Maybe I can actually get my message out a bit and help a few people. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. And also the photography of it. I got into that as a bit of a hobby as well. Enjoy the photography side of it. But more than that, now I'm putting out recipes, and I want people to be able to implement those into their diet.
I've seen that, right? I thought of this question when I was coming back to the house today. I'm going to ask him that. So there's you, Zach, Mark, someone else. Who's the other name?
There's Tom, who's macro fit.
That make his bake stuff, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, it doesn't matter who the people are. If I don't know the question, I've always told if you don't know it, someone else doesn't know it. So ask the question, right? How did you know to start baking? Like, how did you know the ingredients? It sounds stupid. I mean, like,
I'll tell you what, mate.
You just can't put flour into stuff and then
you can, mate. That's the thing. And I'll tell you what will happen.
Am I overthinking
it? Yeah, I mean, it'll go wrong, especially with protein baking, because you'll put protein in and it will dry out and it'll taste like shit. You might be able to make it look nice. And if you want to be a con artist, you could put it on your Instagram and say, try this, it'll be great. Someone will try it and it'll taste like crap. But it doesn't matter because you've already put the post up. But I don't like to do that.
It's already got 10,000 likes.
Yeah, exactly. So I have had lots of failed attempts that have just never gone up because they just don't taste very nice or something like that. And I think my attitude, my tactic for doing it is I will look for a normal recipe. So like a full sugar, full fat cake or a cinnamon roll or whatever it is. And I'll think, right, how can I substitute certain things to? So for example, if it's got 100 grams of flour in, I might think to myself, okay, well, I could use 75 grams of flour and 25 grams of whey. And if something's got butter in, I know that apple sauce or Greek yogurt is a good substitute. And provided you're getting your ratios right, so dry to wet, you're never going to be too far away. You're gonna make mistakes, but that's the trick, mate. Understand what you can substitute that's lower in fat, even eggs to egg whites, sugar to sweetener. Get your ratios right, and you'll get something that, as long as you don't cock it up and go too far in the food health direction, it will taste pretty good. And I think if it tastes 80% as good.
I have so much respect for bakers. Like, how the fuck are you doing that?
I'm not sure I can call myself a baker, but I'll take the compliment.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and then Zach put something on the other day, a zinger burger.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did you know to put them spices in there?
Oh, mate, you just got to experiment, honestly. Like, I mean, Zach is absolutely killing it at the minute, and he has been for months. But even stuff like making knockoff KFC by just crushing up, you're going to have to buy some cornflakes here, mate, but I won't put sugar on them, I promise. Buy some cornflakes, crush them up, and coat your chicken in that. Use egg whites and then cornflakes. And there you go. You've got crispy chicken, bake it in the oven, and it tastes really bloody good.
It baffles me, mate. It does baffle me. I'm like...
Experimentation is key, mate. Like I started adding a whole egg to my baked oats, and it makes it more like a cake. It's incredible. And just adding a bit of baking powder lightens it, because that's just going to add air.
So you put egg.
So what you do is you get your oats. You add water and a bit of salt. I'm full advocate for adding salt to porridge. I won't hear anyone argue against it. It makes it a million times better. If you're not doing it, mate, please do it. Just a little bit of salt. You're not going to be able to taste it. It'll just make everything else taste better. Don't be afraid of sodium as well. I'll say that to everyone out there. It can increase water retention. Yeah, it's not good for your blood pressure, but only if you have it to excess. A bit of a caveat there before someone gets high blood pressure because of me. But yeah, you put water in your oats, and then you add an egg, whole egg, whisk it into your oats, and add a scoop of protein. Put it in the oven. It's amazing. Honestly, a bit of baking powder as well. Yeah, it rises up proper like a pudding. And if you want, add half the mix into a bowl, then load in some spread, then get the rest of the mix on, and you've got like a melt in the middle pudding for not that many more calories than a normal bowl of porridge, to be honest.
I haven't had a bowl of oats in months.
Jesus, coming from you.
Months and months and months and months and months. I said it on the last podcast with Zach. I've just been basically, for my breakfast is 200 grams of natural yogurt, 50 grams of protein, and 20 grams or 25 grams of 85% or above dark chocolate.
Nice.
Chopped up. Gorgeous.
We tried add 40 grams of cream cheese to that. Lightest cream cheese, and some flavor drops from my protein. Tastes like cheesecake.
Oh.
Honestly, mate. And also, when you've added it to the bowl, use a whisk, add a bit of milk or water even. I advise a bit of milk, and just whip it with the whisk, and it'll turn it into like this protein whip. It changes the texture. It's absolutely incredible.
Just cream cheese?
Yeah, man. So like I think my recipe is like 300 grams of yogurt, 15 grams or like 20 grams away, 25 grams away, and then some 40 grams of cream cheese, and whip it, and it's the texture's unreal, man.
I'm gonna try it.
Do it. Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking try it, mate. So yeah, I'm fucking excited. Look, it's the dark chocolate that gets me because it's so potent. Yeah.
Do you grate it or something?
I just chop it up.
Yeah.
Just like chunks, but it's fucking unbelievable.
So did you? Because I've gone through this too. Did you just get sick of oats?
Yeah, proper sick of them. Just like not eating them anymore. Can't do it. So I do, but I still feed the child. Still gets oats every morning
with protein in.
No, he gets. I did give him a protein in him for a while, like, but he doesn't like it with protein in it. So I just put like chocolate chips in it, some flavor drops from my protein. He loves them. Yeah. Like the strawberry ones and all, and
they're fantastic. They really are
fucking great, mate. See the flavor you get off them for like such little.
Like, yeah, well, I put those in my yogurt things as well, and also that cheesecake bowl. Add 10 grams of cocoa powder to it. It's chocolate cheesecake. Yeah.
That's
thought we had some ASMR then from you.
Long have we been fucking chatting for?
I don't know, but I've got to go off to this race in not long. I haven't even got a timer on here.
No, nearly. There's no timer on it. We've just been chatting.
It's
been the times just went.
It has. I don't sure we even got around to the introduction.
We don't need an introduction, but I will. Where can people catch you?
So it's over on Instagram. It's Barbell, so BARB_ELL. Posts lots of fitness recipes, general fitness tips, updates from the gym. So if anyone's looking for that kind of, some ideas for how to eat healthy but stay in shape, then come over.
What also makes you just go one more day?
Really good question, that, mate. Knowing that I could have an impact on someone's life in some small way, even the most insignificant way. I think that's what does it. Waking up knowing that I'm going to make a positive change for someone else, and hopefully I can make a positive change for myself as well. Be better than I was yesterday.
That's a nice, positive, reinforcing way to end the podcast, mate.
Well, thank you very much for having me on, man. I really,
it's been a fucking pleasure, mate. Thank you very much for giving me your time, mate. Do you know what I mean?
No problem at all, man.
Thank you very much. Hopefully, I'll get it. There's no edit involved. It's just one shot, one take. That's just what you get. Do you know what I mean? I'll just.
You're not going to tell all the people about the whole podcast we did before, and that we said, we insulted everyone, and you had to delete it.
Basically, just insulted every single fucker, and just decided we'll record it now and we'll blank that out. Before we go, I just want your point of view on it. I don't know if you follow Matt Does Fitness. Do you follow Matt Does Fitness?
I do follow Matt Does Fitness. Yeah, quite a lot. I watch his YouTube videos.
Natty or not natty?
I think he took something when he was powerlifting.
I think he's natural.
I think he's natural now. I think he might have been natural since he's had kids, since he had Luca. I wonder whether when he was young and he was getting into powerlifting, he may have taken even just some TRT, some hormone replacement therapy, just to build mass for strength. But he's also a master of good lighting, and things like that. And you know what? To judge it based on solely Instagram pictures is almost impossible. And I watched Derek More Plates More Dates video, setting him up with to do a testing. And I'm not one of these people that is going to say he's 100% not natty. I'd like to see what comes of it. I'd be interested to see. I think maybe he's not doing it for the right reasons. He's doing it just so he can prove everyone wrong. And credit to him.
I just think that too many people are getting on his case for no reason.
It's because people don't like to think that hard work leads to good results.
Like, does it really matter if the man's took anything? He's never said, buy my program because I'm natural and you can look like me. No,
I do think there's an inherent association with influencers selling programs that it is their program, so that it's associated with their physique. But I agree with you. He's pushing anything saying you can look like him.
Yeah. And then I look at his brother, and I'm like,
he's got good genetics. His brother, isn't it?
Fuck. And I was like, that's genetics. I was like, he's natural. He is.
He's got incredible genetics. Yeah, he really does. And the funny thing would be if he did go on gear, just to see how huge he'd get.
Fuck me, mate.
That would almost prove everyone wrong. He'd be like, look, I wasn't on it before because now I'm Mr. fucking Olympia. Step aside, Chris Bumstead.
He's like a Greek god, mate.
He's got a great physique.
He's got a great physique, mate. If you were to draw a physique on a piece of paper, it's going to near enough resemble what he has.
Definitely for aesthetics. Definitely
for aesthetics and like classic style bodybuilding.
Would you say old school classic? Now that classic bodybuilding has got a lot more bigger. Open.
A bit like classic style bodybuilding, and I'm like, it's just been gifted with these phenomenal fucking genetics, and you're just like, fuck me, man.
People don't respect what genetics can do.
Imagine if he actually took gear and competed.
Yeah.
Fuck me, man. He'd be Mr. Olympia, no sweat about it, man. I'm telling you. In about 5 years, he'd be like, step aside, like you said, step aside, Chris.
What about Mike Thurston?
He's
got pecs out to here, mate. He could rest his chin on him.
I want to say he's natty, but I don't know. If he is,
I'll tell you a great proof, I think, from Matt being natty, and he did actually bring this up in this video, is there was a picture of him next to Josh Bridgman, who isn't natty, and has just got his IFBB Pro card, and Josh is so much bigger.
Josh is massive, mate.
He's a tank.
He is massive. There's a fella here from Northern Ireland, right? He's now training with Callum
Callum Bottom. I know the people you mean.
You know who I'm talking about?
The people he coaches Brandon Harding and stuff like that.
Yes. Check his fella. I'm going to get his actual Instagram handle now, and you can check him out. This geezer is _ Josh Coyle.
Josh Cole. Okay, yeah, I'll check him out.
IFBB Pro from Northern Ireland. He is men's physique.
Is it the Muscle Mentors? Is that who Callum's company is? I think it is.
Yeah, he is also not men's physique anymore.
Right.
Let me see.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, incredible.
Phenomenal, mate. Give him a follow.
I will. I'll absolutely check him out.
Or you don't have to follow him, but just like check him out. I've been following this geezer before he turned pro, and I was like, mate, that man's genetics he's going to go places. I'm telling you.
Yeah, absolutely incredible.
In the physique realm of like competing, it's scary. Like, and so is Josh Bridgman and Brightman.
Yeah. I'm interested to see, now that he's a pro, I'm interested to see Josh on a pro stage and see how he competes.
The competition between like amateur and pro level is like,
oh yeah, but that's the name of the game, isn't it?
Miles and miles and miles apart. You're like, fuck me, he's got some work to do to put in to get, but no doubt he will get there, like, because he's got the right mindset. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hopefully he's got the right mindset.
I reckon so. Yeah.
But we could keep the podcast.
We could keep talking about this, couldn't we?
The podcast has had to be finished.
Well, yeah, it was great to be on, man.
It's been fantastic to have you, mate. I'll leave all your your account and all in the description below, and we're solely just on YouTube at the minute. Reason being is I'm not fucking paying to have it hosted yet.
Fair. Yeah, no stress, mate. Well, I hope it goes well, man. And I'm happy to come back anytime in the future.
Oh, we'll get you back on again in the future. Don't you worry. Elliott, mate, it's been a fucking absolute pleasure.
Thanks very much, Michael.
Thank you very much, mate.
Have a good time, mate. Catch you later.
Mate. Bye.